Hey guys, this is Pez here. Just thought I'd do an FPVOD because I've been watching some Combatex VODs lately, and caused me to reminisce a bit, go through his videos, and I noticed he does a lot of FPVODs. He claimed to have been recording while playing and speaking while playing, but I'm pretty sure he recorded his voice over his videos. So he was more just commentating them and talking through his thought process, as you could see the FPVOD. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to talk you through my thought process in how I played this PvZ, and playing a very standard style. I'm going to play Phoenix this game. I'll probably put that in the title on YouTube. And yeah, just take you through all the reactions I have this game, because I don't know, maybe it'll teach people how to play solid Phoenix macro. I don't know, we'll see. But an interesting thing I'm going to be doing this game is I'm going to be putting a gateway on 13, and this is a 2-player map build. You can't do this on, well, you can do it on other maps, but it's kind of pointless. But this is definitely a 2-player map build. You want to use it on maps like Overgrowth. I think that's actually the only 2-player map in the pool. King Sejong is there too, so you can use it on these 2 maps if you'd like. I think it's a really good Overgrowth map, Overgrowth build personally. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the gate, and I'm not going to get my gases. The reason I'm not going to get my gases is because I'm going to probe scout after my gate. And you can see here with my probe scout, I'm looking, no hatchery. I'm ready to cancel the 17th probe. But no, I see the drone just there. So I know he's expanding, so I don't have to cancel my 17th probe. The reason this is important, I'll just resume. The reason this is important is because if I go into his natural and I scout that there's no hatchery there, and then I go into his main and I scout he's doing like a temple speed or something, I can decide to put my second pylon on the ramp, quickly take both my gases all before getting my nexus, and put a cybercore down. Then I can chronoboost out a zealot and just hold my ramp with zealot mothership core, like the traditional way that you hold like speedling all-ins or early pulls. So that makes it so that this build can be either really greedy or can be very safe, just depending on what you've scouted. So that's why I really like this build on this map. The reason I wouldn't suggest doing this build on 4-player maps is because you may as well be doing Nexus first, since it's sort of similar levels of greed. Like, all the builds you're going to die to with Nexus first, you're going to die to with this build, unless you've scouted. So, if you want to do this build on 4-player maps, I suggest just doing Nexus first into Gateway, because it's more greedy, it gives you a bit more of an econ, and it's pretty much the same risk. That sort of makes sense. Now, I did have my probe on my watchtower there, looking out for lings. If there were lings coming, I would have started my zealot earlier and not put that 3rd pylon down there. The reason you wouldn't put that 3rd pylon down there is they can actually kill it, with like 4 lings or so. So you just want to delay it a bit till your zealot is out in that case. But I knew there weren't lings coming, so I got away with it. And just making a mothership core now. So this is like going pretty standard now. I'm going to put that Stargate down straight away. You can see it's starting at 5 minutes. That's a lot earlier than like a traditional gateway expand or even a forge expand. Usually it'll start at about 5:30, 5:40 with those builds. So we're getting a good 30-40 seconds there. And that'll, kill the overlords quicker, force Zerg to make more overlords earlier in the game, force them to put spores down sooner. Maybe you can pick off some drones rallying to their 3rd since you're there a bit quicker. So yeah, that's why I really like this build. And just going to take our double gases now before our Stargate finishes. Actually, for Zergs, if there are any Zergs watching, if the gases are down, like, if there aren't gases down after one Phoenix is out at the natural, it's probably because they're going to do like a 4-gate zealot pressure or something. So that's how you know if a Protoss player is doing like 4-gate zealot pressure with Phoenix. That's why that build has sort of shifted out of the metagame a bit. So, gonna saturate these gases and get some Phoenix out. Now this Stargate positioning was not necessary. I'm a very straight up player. I don't really hide what I'm doing, but I should be. I should be hiding what I'm doing. It's just not something I really do that often. but because I've scouted that he was going gasless, I knew he wasn't going to have speedlings out or anything. I would have been perfectly safe to put that Stargate in the main. Probably a better idea. I'm confident enough in my solid game to not have to hide tech, but it's definitely something I should look towards doing. So I'm going to scout all around my third. That's really important. Scouting around your third with your Phoenix is super important, because if they get a lair and they put an overlord there and they just dump creep on your third, that can be game ending. Like, that's really bad. So you want to make sure they can't get any overlords near your third. I'm going to send my Phoenix straight across the map. Now, I think I'm in the wrong spawn, yeah. If the Zerg was spawned at the top, the eggs actually hatch on top of the hatchery. Like, they'll hatch up the top there, so you can actually pick off queens and stuff popping from there, because queens pop on that side too. Or you could pop off, like, you know, pick up like drones and stuff as they pop. You can't do that in these spawns, so it's not as good, but you know, I'm still going to get some damage done. I'm just going to patrol my Phoenix in between the Nat and the third, meaning he can't transfer and saturate his third as much as he wants to. And I'm getting a fast warp prism here. This is something I've been seeing Minigun doing lately. I think it's a pretty strong way to play. I mean, you don't have to do this, but I really like it, and I'm going to go up to 5 gates as well. And you can see I've got 4 zealots here ready to load up into that warp prism. So that's going to be really handy. And while I've got my warp prism rallied across, I'm going to try to use the Phoenix to get some more damage, at least I should. I'm going to chrono boost that +1, it's a pretty important upgrade. I'm going to get Colossus behind all this. So he doesn't have a spore there, which is really greedy by him. That's actually super greedy. It's like 1 spore on one side, like I'm going to get tons of drains here. But actually, I'm not sure if I should have used all that lift energy, because I do want to save my lifts for units. That's why you don't have to be super active with your Phoenix with this build, because you're going to be using your lifts anyway as soon as these zealots drop in. So I'm going to regroup my warp prism and my Phoenix, and I'm going to warp in 5 zealots and just go into his main and see what tech he's got. You know, lift some drones. That's probably not great either, but I'm pretty new to this variant as well, so bear with me. So I don't have any energy to pick up that queen, but I do get some soon. So I'm going to pick that off, and I see a spire, so I'm going to try to, you know, dance around to get some good surface area on that. And take that out. Now, I'm thinking it could be Muta at this point, but I don't know, that's a very early spire. I wouldn't expect Muta that fast, but I do make Phoenix at home just in case. But it is going to be Hydra Roach. And so, when you've got Zealots engaging against Hydras, you should always try to lift the Hydras at the back, because if you lift the ones at the front, the Zealots just aren't going to connect, right? So that's a mistake I had there. I should have been lifting the ones at the back of the army and trying to let my Zealots do some work at the front. Either way, I did tons of damage there. I'm in a really good position. And I can pretty safely assume that he was trying to do Roach Corruptor Hydra. Like, he had a Spire, but he also had Roach Hydra, and you can see he has an Evo chamber at his natural as well. So these are the tells I have right now that he was probably going to go into Corruptors, not Mutalisks. But I still have to confirm this. Now, a big tell of whether someone is going Mutalisks is if they have a really fast 4th, and they have their gases taken on their 4th. So that's why I'm going to his 4th right now to scout. I'm going to pick up 2 drones here. He doesn't have the gases taken. I'm pretty sure at this point it's going to be Corruptor, because if you don't have the gases taken, you're just not going to have a big enough bank to go for Muta. So I'm going to stick on the 1 Stargate and just get Void Rays slowly. Void Rays are really good against Corruptors, but you don't want to dedicate too much resources into those extra Stargates. I'm scouting into the main just to check he's still on Lair Tech. He's not going to Hive. If he gets Hive, you want to be cutting your Void Ray production, you want to be getting Charger, and you want to be getting Templar Archives, not Blink. And you just want to get that Storm right out and use feedbacks to deny those Vipers from gripping. Okay, so I'm going to go right back into his 4th now, just to check if his gases are saturated. If his gases aren't saturated by now, it means I should really be geared up to be defensive, because he's definitely going to be doing a timing attack. And let's see, he has no gases still. So, you know, going to lift up some drones here. And I actually dived this quite well. I don't think 1 Spore is really enough there, he needs some Hydras there as well. So I get every drone. I'm effectively putting him all in at the moment. he doesn't have a good econ. I have a better econ, even though my third isn't saturated yet. That seems late, but it's only late because of the zealot pressure I did early game. And big mistake here is not taking my gases a bit sooner. I should have taken them a bit sooner. And there you go, scattered it. That's exactly what I was expecting was to happen. Roach Hydra Corruptor. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my Phoenix with my army now. Phoenix are actually really good at tanking for Colossi. Like, Corruptors don't want to be fighting against Phoenix. So you can see here what you want to do is you want to charge a Void Rays, pretty much A move, time warp these roaches and force field them out. And well, this fight is going to be pretty one-sided because I've had a good early game lead and you know I've got the perfect composition to deal with what he's doing against me. And a big mistake I see from Protoss players is not punishing Zerg players who are on low econ when they sacrifice their army like that. If a Zerg player has no drones on his 4th, which he doesn't at the moment because I killed them all, he's not going to be able to reproduce that much. If he loses an army, that's actually costing him a lot. Don't be afraid to walk across the map and try to end it. Seriously, this is a perfect position for me to try to end the game. I'm going to build up those extra gates just in case this fails, and I'm going to be warping in Stalkers if I can get that in phase mode. And we'll see, you know, if I can end the game or not. Well, I already knew the answer, but I'm going to let you see for yourself. He does have those gases saturated now. I scared my Phoenix. Muta are popping. Horrible decision for him to be going Muta right now. He cannot hold this while going Muta. And yeah, you can see those 4 Colossi just doing work. The Void Rays are doing too much as well. And just going to warp in more Stalkers here. I'm going to make a second Stargate at home and start making Phoenix just in case a base raid happens. But I know it's not going to happen. Yeah, so I mean, that's a great way to play a standard PvZ. I hope you guys liked my FPVOD. I hope you guys learned something from this. That's what I'm going for. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.